The Wednesday Night Info Show.
CNZ Audio Mini ST Lil Dita. All right, tonight we are dealing with the last of the CNZ Audio Minis to hit the Minventory, and that is this ST Mini. And it's a shame because this really is a fantastic little thing with only one slightly annoying problem, and I'll get to that. Now, as far as the price and availability, they're available on Amazon at the CNZ Audio website, as well as on Reverb. You can find them from about $160 to $170, depending on the color that you want. With these STs, the necks are almost exclusively maple necks with maple fretboards, and I was able to find a dealer. I was able to find one on the coast of North Carolina that had an ST in stock as well as a mini telly, and I was able to play them both. There were some issues with those particular guitars that I didn't find in the ones that were shipped right to my door. Now, I am going to let you know, the company is very proud of the fact that it's owned by some brothers in Ohio, and they include notes with your purchases. They do welcome you to the CNZ Audio family, which is actually kind of cool. But the box is pretty clear. They are manufactured in China, which is not an issue for me. So is almost everything else in this room. Now, as far as the used market, I haven't been able to find them on the used market, which either means that folks are turning them into firewood or they're hanging on to these, which is quite fine as far as that goes. If you have one and you decide you want to get rid of it, give me a call because I have some ideas for some mods on these. And that's really the funniest thing about this. I bought this guitar strictly to mod, but right out of the box, it was fine. I mean, it has the swimming pool mount, which means you can do route, which means you can pretty much do whatever you want to do in here. You can even get some P90 width pickups in here if you want to modify the fretboard to handle it. But it didn't need it. The ceramic pickups that it comes with are actually quite fine, depending on the style of music that you're playing, and you can modify this pickguard to hold whatever you want to. The 22-inch 22 fret is a dream to play. It's one of my favorite necks. I love the even spacing, and it feels familiar if you play anything over the 3rd fret on a standard scale guitar. When it came out of the box, the neck relief was actually in really good shape. It wasn't an issue for any of my 3 CNZs. The frets were in good shape. I didn't even have any difficulty with fret sprout. And like I said, the ceramic pickups were pretty good. I literally played this thing enough just to make sure that it was in really good shape, it felt right, before I started modding it, because I didn't want to invest a lot of time and effort into something that wasn't going to play all that well. It was really good to go out of the box. Now, as far as maintenance goes, this is kind of a surprising thing. Vintage trim, a standard 3-spring back. As far as the football output jack, standard pots, the mini pots, standard 3-position switch, decent tuning keys and trees, all of that stayed the same. I may have changed some things cosmetically, but none of that stuff needed work. I bought this thing to basically do a complete overhaul on it, and the only thing I really swapped out was the pickups. It didn't even need a string change. It got one, but it didn't need one because I was dismantling it anyway. Now, with this setup with it, the neck pickup gives me that great chimey tone. I can get some rockabilly, some country, some blues tones out of this neck pickup. And then, of course, the P90-ish rear pickup gives me some great rock tones, metal tones, blues tones, and really can give me a clear telly-ish kind of sound if I really set things up. It's a sweet little noisemaker, and I can even pull, if I could finger pick or do the chicken picking thing, I'm really sure it could do this quite well. Now, as far as buying a duplicate or giving a gift, I want a surf green one. And if I get the surf green one, I'm pretty sure I'm going to swap out the pick guard and the lipstick pickup with the P90 here and put that in the mint green, and then take this one and put my Seymour Duncan JB and my 57 Strat clone up here, because that'll give me my pickups from my original guitar that kind of went kaput. But you really don't need to do that. Out of the box, it would be a great gift, except for one thing, and that's this. Now, I understand on minis it is a difficult thing to find a good place to put these switches, especially if you're trying to deal with a Strat player like me. But the thing that I've noticed with this guitar is with the pickup or the switch in the first position, if I'm really getting on it and I'm really playing, it is really simple to knock this thing out accidentally. Now, if it moved maybe a quarter inch, half inch down, or even forward and kind of changed the angle, that might be a little bit better. But that's really picking nits as far as trying to find a flaw with this guitar. Otherwise, it's really, really in good shape. Now, the other issue, and this is a personal thing for me, with the tremolo bar. Between the switch placement and the tremolo bar, I'm trying to learn how to play with the trim and use the trim more often. Sometimes that's just a lot for my brain to handle, and it doesn't do well. But that's not really an issue with the guitar. Once you get used to the trim, if you already are, that's great, and you figure out how to play around the switch, it's not an issue at all. It's a fantastic little thing. I really, really like it. It's really a whole lot of fun. I'm going to give you a few tones to listen to, and can't wait to see how your response is to what's coming up on center stage in a couple of days with it.
Show.